Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome back to another review of movies of 2021. This is our doozy, man. This is one of the better films of 2021. It's a Pixar movie that just came out on Disney Plus tonight, and I watched it finally, and it's one of the best. It's the best animated movie I've seen all year, and that is Disney's LUCA. That's right, LUCA, the Italian animated movie that Pixar finally got their hands on. They finally did a movie about Italy, and it was delightful. This movie was really, really freaking good. One of Pixar's best recent films that they've done in the past like 5 years or so, because it's not a sequel to like Toy Story or Incredibles or Finding Nemo. It's its own movie, and it's fantastic. Like, the good things. Animation is top notch stuff. It's gorgeous to look at, beautiful colors, amazing landscapes. The character designs, I have a lot of detail. It just looks beautiful. It's a work of art. Disney should be very proud of themselves, and Pixar, because Pixar always, when you see a Pixar movie, you're going to get some top notch animation. You're not getting the Emoji Movie here. You're going to get some top notch animation. Also, the film was supposed to be in theaters, but unfortunately, the COVID happened, so they had to push it direct to streaming. But this doesn't feel streamed. This feels like a movie in theaters. Should have been in theaters. It got a limited run in the El Capitan Theater, and it will be released in theaters in countries without the streaming service, like in places in Europe and Asia and whatever. The film got generally positive reviews. It deserves it. This is fantastic. It got praised for its visuals. Yeah, the visuals are beautiful. The themes in the movie about acceptance and family and loving each other and being there for each other. I get that, and I love that about Pixar. They nail family topics better than any animated studio I've seen, and a lot of them have tried. Some of them do it well, DreamWorks and Illumination, but some of them just fail entirely, like Blue Sky Studios. Some of their stuff is terrible. The voice acting was fantastic. Jacob Tremblay as Luca is adorable. He can act. He has a lot of range. He has emotion. He's not a robot. And him and the kid from that plays Alberto, what was his name? Jack Dylan Grazer as Alberto. He's fantastic. Just like in Shazam, he steals the show. He's very funny, very charming. He has a lot of energy. That I love that in a kid. I don't get that with a lot of other animated films, especially those British ones that are claymation. I just don't get it. It's not for me. This is something European that I can get behind. I love the Italian music in the movie. It's fantastic. The score, the beautiful soundtrack with the they have a lot of like operatic songs, and it really gets me into this world. I feel like I was in Italy. I didn't feel like I was watching a 90-minute cartoon. It looked real to me. It felt real to me. The little girl that plays Juliana, she's adorable. She's a new actress, so you've never seen her before. Emma Berman, she's done one voice acting credit before this, and also her father is Marco Baricelli, plays Massimo Marcovaldo. He did a good job. He looks like the dad from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, the one that has his eyebrows on his face. He looks just like that, except he has one arm. I don't want to try. I want to try to not to spoil the movie because I know some people haven't seen it yet. The villain was way better than the freaking villain in Raya. I'm like, thank God that this villain had some personality. He's actually played by an Italian actor, so that's authentic. Is uh Saverio Ramondo. He was really good as Ecole Visconti. He was good because he's a douchebag. He's like he has a lot of pride, in himself. He's a narcissist. He's an asshole to his two friends, Guido and what was his name? Sissio. Yeah, and then when what they do to him at the end was great. I love the film's ending. The third act when they have a race. Yeah, I'm not going to say too much, but there's a race at the end. And it's uplifting. The Maya Rudolph, she was much better here than in The Mitchells because while I liked that movie, I hated the gay theme. That was not needed. Here, there's none of that. The movie's about acceptance, not an allegory for coming out. No, it's about acceptance of who you are on the outside and on the inside, accepting your flaws and just fitting into society. Jim Gaffigan did Lorenzo. He's a good actor. I like him in the movie. He has a mustache. He's not very cartoonish. He's very subtle. I like this performance. Sandy Martin was Grandma Perguro. She was also really good, very funny. You had Marina Massaroni as Mrs. Marsagilis. I'm sorry if I'm saying the name wrong. I just I don't speak Italian. But there's one actor I didn't care for in this movie, and it's one. He's in one scene, and then in a post-credit scene, that's Sacha Baron Cohen as Uncle Ugo. I don't know what it is, but he sounds like a Muppet. He sounds like this the whole time. That's his voice for the whole for that 5 minutes he's on screen. I'm like, he could have been cut. You did not need him. I bet that was going to be John Ratzenberger, but he probably was too busy to do the film because he was in the film. He was supposed to be in the film, but because of scheduling conflicts, he probably wasn't able to do it. But it worked for me. This is a beautiful movie. It said, Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 90%. It deserves it. It says, slight but suffused with infectious joy. I agree with that. The beguiling Luca proves Pixar can play it safe while still charming enough audiences of all ages. Yeah, it's safe. It's not. There's nothing deep, like too deep in it. They don't talk about like abuse or people some like violence or anything like that. There is some violence, but it's not. It's very brief. Like later in the film, Ercole punches Alberto in the stomach, but that's it. It's not like there's no blood like in Invincible where they're like gushing blood all over. No, this is very kid friendly. But the what worked in the movie is the bond between Luca and Alberto. It was a brotherhood. I bought their chemistry. The two actors nail it with the voice acting. I love this movie loves Italian cinema and it respects the culture and it embraces it. It doesn't shy away from it, just like what Kung Fu did for Asians. It worked. Raya, that was something missing because in that movie, there's no guy character that I could latch on to because her father was barely in it, and the others, what guys in the movie are just side characters. Here, they're two boys, and then you have the girl for leverage, and then it works. It's a trifecta of three really good actors doing, playing these good characters that are likable and very, very fun and lighthearted. I didn't want this movie to be too dark. Pixar's done dark already many times. I mean, look at Toy Story 3. The movie is like an animated drama and in the third act that they think they're going to die. I'm like, that wasn't needed. They wanted to raise the stakes with it. I think stick with your audience. Know the audience you're catering to. It's kids and adults. Kids first and then adults. It has a lot of heart. This movie has tons of heart. It's a lot of Disney Easter eggs in the movie. They showed a toy of Donald Duck. They showed Pinocchio, which is another great Disney, adaptation of an Italian story. There's nods to other films too, like The Little Mermaid. There's no singing in the movie, thankfully. It also has a Miyazaki style, yeah, like Ponyo. If you've seen Ponyo with the little fish girl that meets and befriends a human host, yeah, it's pretty much like that too. Except this has a villain. And it also is homage to Federico Fellini and other great Italian filmmakers. It is because of the scope of the movie. It's very short because most of the movies for Fellini or Fulci or Francis Ford Coppola or Sergio Leone are very long. Some Italian movies could be between 2 to 3 to 4 hours long. This was nice and short at 95 minutes. It did not drag ass. Um, the animation, like I said, the underwater scenes are gorgeous. It looks real. It was like what they did when they did Finding Nemo or Finding Dory, that you get immersed into this world. It feels like you're actually there. It doesn't feel like I'm watching a cartoon. And Italy was a nice choice for Disney to do because they don't get a lot of love in the recently, and yeah, it was good to see because they do have their own film industry, but it's good to see them try a new country instead of the same 13 that we've seen already. Because we've seen France, we've seen England, we've seen Mexico, we've seen a lot of that. With Italy, they nailed it. They just nailed it. I would have liked to have seen the Leaning Tower of Pisa, but this is a small like a town, like a little Riviera. It's not like a big city like Rome or what was the other places? Venice. No, it's more small and isolated. But I got it. It worked for me. And like I said, the landscapes, the trees, and the water and the space, everything looks fantastic. The film is got a great pacing too. Like they don't show Luca like turn into a fish or human like halfway through the movie. The first time he gets out of the water, he turns human, and it looks good. Looks fantastic. And this film should have been in theaters. I don't know why. If there was never a pandemic, I would have seen this in theaters today because it was worth every minute of my time. If you haven't seen it, it's on Disney Plus. Watch it. It's worth it. It's free. There's no premium Premier Rush access for this, so you'll be safe. And it is a feast for the eyes. If you have kids, this is definitely for them because they're gonna love the characters. They're gonna love the animation, and it's got a good message about it without shoving it in your face, which I'm very grateful for. Because after Raya, I was like, okay, Luca better blow my mind, and it did. They played it safe, but they stuck to their strengths. Pixar. They know they make the best animation. They get great voice actors, mostly voice actors, not celebrity voices that can't voice act. They get the real deal. This isn't Scoob. This is freaking Pixar. 90% of the people that have done voice acting for them are top notch. Like Tom Hanks and Tim Allen and freaking, John Ratzenberger, Don Rickles. Who else did voice acting in Pixar? The voice cast for The Incredibles, Craig T. Nelson and what's her face, Holly Hunter, and there's a lot of people that worked for Pixar, and some of them just knock it out of the park. Jason Lee is Syndrome. There's a reason that Albert Brooks as Marlin and even Ellen DeGeneres in Finding Nemo, that worked. Yes, she's a celebrity, but back then she didn't have her own show like Oprah does. But anyway, the long story short, Luca's a great freaking movie. It's a animated coming of age fantasy comedy. There were some moments I laughed because there were some jokes. There were no stupid fart jokes or butt jokes. It was really, really well done. And the family aspect really saves it from being a forgettable mess. It's a much better movie than The Mitchells versus Machines. And it didn't pander. And unlike Raya, which I was invested until the third act, this, all the way through, I was invested. It's a feast for the eyes, and you have to see it for yourself to be wowed by this beautiful animated film, and it should win Best Picture, Best Animated Picture, without any doubt in my mind. Best animated feature is going to be Luca. There's no way it's going to be like The Mitchells because it's a Netflix movie. The animation's too weird. This doesn't. It looks, it looks beautiful. There's some weird things, like underwater that I don't know why some of the fish sound like sheep. They go bah, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of off-putting, but it's a great story, and you're going to get invested in these colorful, beautiful characters, and it's the best animated movie I've seen all year, from any time of the year, whether it be winter, spring, or the summer coming up. This is it, man. This is the crowning achievement of animation for 2021. Thank you, Pixar and Disney, for making this movie. It was worth my time. A great freaking movie after what I've suffered throughout the years. But thanks for watching, guys. Take care. I don't want this review to go 30 minutes. So thanks for watching. Watch Luca. It is worth your time. I want to say one thing that they said in the movie. Silencio Bruno. That's to the haters of this movie that didn't give it a chance. And, but anyway, thanks for watching, guys.